when we talk about ALLDATA, it's a unique product. We have 44 OEM brands covered in our database. Everything is original manufacturer data, 100% unedited. So we are not allowed to change a word. So whatever the OE has in his portfolio on data, we will have it as well. With that, we cover 97% on the European car park, which means vehicles on the road from the last 15 to 25 years. And you will find in the product over 9 million wiring diagrams, technical drawings, connector views, etc., etc., etc. As you can see already, it's a big product. It's a massive product because we cover every piece from the manufacturer side as well. Within this, we also have more than 165,000 unique combinations, unique model, make, engine combinations, and more than 400,000 technicians all over the world are using ALLDATA on a daily basis. You know, looking at more than 100 million articles, which we have actually available in 5 languages, which are English, German, Spanish, French, Italian. Okay, so it is quite a big product. So if we look what the product is made of, if we can see that ALLDATA repair consists of 3 elements. The basic is ALLDATA repair, the product itself. That's a single portal for 44 brands. You have a unique opening screen. If you choose a model, you will see always the same menu. And from there, you go with a deep dive into the manufacturer's portals, actually. We have not only the technical side covered here, which means we are talking about TSBs or DTCs, step-by-step procedures, how to repair a drivetrain, you know, everything on the technical side of the car is covered. But we also, in addition, cover the body repair side with a lot of safety relevant information. If you do on the car some body work, whether it's cutting something off, or if you replace the mirrors or the window screens, etc., etc., you will be covered 100% around every single item of the car. This is a step-by-step procedure from the manufacturer. We also have some add-on products to the core products. The first one would be labor times. So labor times is an add-on. Obviously, you can use if you want to see the OEM-based labor time. So really coming from the manufacturer, what does the manufacturer say? How long does it need to repair this item or this item? Then you would add on ALLDATA labor times, because it will save you time, because you know exactly how much time you have to plan. You can optimize your resources, and obviously it will help you to be more accurate on the repairs. There's also another add-on, which we call maintenance schedules, which you will find very interesting, because not only that we have 61 brands here, so 17 more than in the core product, you also can switch to your local languages. You can switch to Norwegian, you can switch to Swedish, Finnish, Danish, whatever you want to choose from the Scandinavian languages and more. You can change the language here right in the product, which might be very interesting for you if you want to do a service or maintenance on a car. You can work in your common known local language. Overall, here you can see the coverage of all the brands. All the red ones are obviously the one we have in the core product, but you can see the black ones, which are on top of the 44, which I mentioned in the beginning, which takes you to a total of 61 brands. So as a summary, before we go in the product demonstration, you can see it is a very big product, ALLDATA repair, because we cover everything from the manufacturer. But you can turn this obviously into a big advantage for you because you have clarity on every type of repair you want to do. It's an all-in-one solution. Your simple jobs can be done simply, but the complex jobs you can handle easily because you get every piece of information you need. Okay, so that is a quick overview about ALLDATA repair. Thank you for your attention. At this point in time, I will now hand over to Steve Derham, our senior technical specialist. He will provide you with all the technical information around our product and will show you how easy it is to work with ALLDATA. Steve, stage is yours.
Thank you, Gerhard. Very kind. Okay, good morning, everybody. And just to say thank you again for taking the time to join us this morning. I'd just like to run through the product with you and to show you some of its key features and the benefits that it's going to be for you and your workshop. Okay. So every time you would log in the morning, you're going to be presented with this screen here. And this is where you're going to navigate to any vehicle that you're going to want to source some information on to work from. It's very simple to use. We can start on the top right hand corner here. If you can see where my mouse pointer is, we can select between platform and year, make, model and engine. So if we start with platform here, we would simply click on the manufacturer's drop down list. And as Gerhard just pointed out, these are the 44 brands in our core product that we cover. Okay. And all you would need to do is select, for instance, Audi. And then within the model, you can select which model you're working on. And then you would select the model year and the engine type that you have. Simply click on the engine and you'll be taken forward to the next screen where you can select any information that you want to work on the vehicle from. So this screen here, irrespective of any manufacturer, any model that you click on, this will always look the same. It's when we select some information that you need for a vehicle, this is where the information will look slightly different. Because you have to remember with ALLDATA, all the information that we published is not rewritten, it's not redrawn, it's all information direct from the manufacturer. So as we're clicking on Audi at the moment, or Audi selected, sorry, all the information you will see is direct from Irwin itself. So some of you may have a Volkswagen Audi Group background. The information that you would see there, you would recognize from when you'd been in the workshop. Now, if you didn't want to select by platform, on the top right-hand side up here again, we simply click on YMME. And then if you know the year of the vehicle that you're working on, we would simply select 2021, again, for instance, Audi. And then you can select the vehicle that you're working on and select the relevant information related to that vehicle that's in the workshop. And as you see, you're going to land back on the page where you can select your information from, which is here. Okay. Every time you select a vehicle here, you're going to be taken back to the initial home screen. And this is, of course, where you're going to select your vehicle from. Now, another simple way that we can do this as well is by selecting the number plate. Okay. Now, I can't put a Nordic region plate in because it's not going to work from where I am. But you would simply type your number plate in here of the vehicle, and then it's going to take you off to that relevant vehicle and the last page that we saw where you can select the information that you want to see. One of the only differences that we have here is for brands BMW, Mini and Rolls-Royce. All the information that you see in the product outside of BMW and Mini, that's held within our servers themselves. Whereas with BMW and Mini information, that goes through to a pass-through, and that's going to BMW's ISTA and AIR system. So we're essentially passing you through directly to the manufacturer's system, okay? But we'll cover that a bit more later on. So what we do initially, we're going to select a vehicle, and what I would like to select is a Tesla. So I know within the Nordic regions, EV is certainly king at the moment. And from what I can see, Toyota, Tesla and Volkswagen Group certainly seem to be the market leaders of vehicles that are currently on the road. So if we take this Tesla as an example, you can see now originally we selected Audi, but we're now back on the Tesla. This page still looks the same. But again, it's the information beyond that we're going to see. So each of the sections that you have here on the top left, we have popular information, and hopefully that will speak for itself. That's the most popular information that people want to access in the product for the vehicle itself. Systems and components here is going to cover all the information that's available for the vehicle under these subheadings here. And then information here will be combined with the information across the two subsections to the left, which I hope makes sense. Now, the simplest way to access any information, on the top right hand side of the screen, we have a search bar. Anything that you type in here will look for the information under the systems and components chapters and the popular information. So it's looking for everything that's within that workshop manual. So for something nice and simple, if I just simply type in brake pad, you may have a Tesla in the workshop that you need to change some pads on. We've typed in brake pads, and what it does, it's going to break down the information from service and repair. So this would be the more mechanical side, to the specifications. So if you wanted to know disc run out, minimum thicknesses, anything along those sort of lines, that's going to appear here. So if we select brake pads, remove and replace, the information that you're going to see now is directly from Tesla. Although I know it's a simple job, it's just to highlight the information that you're going to see. So what you're looking at now, as I've said, is information direct from Tesla. Nice and clear, clarity, any information that you might need to know additional will be within the chapter itself. Anything that we see in any manufacturer that's text in blue is indicating that it's a hyperlink, and we would click here to reveal more information. So of course, to change the brake pads, we need to take the wheels off, and that's going to give you the information for wheel removal, and of course the all important wheel nut or bolt torques when the wheel is going to go back on. Okay, so another example of some information as well. If a customer's come in for some brake pads, you may notice once you've taken the wheel and tyres off that they've got some abnormal wear. You may need to carry out some wheel alignment. So wheel alignment here as well, we can just simply type that in the box. And what it's going to do, it's going to give you all the information again that's relevant to the job that you want to take on. So not only is it going to give you values, there's lots of providers out there that will give you lots of information, lots of specs, lots of torques, lots of fluid capacities, but it's knowing what to do with that information, which of course is key. So with ALLDATA, you're going to get all the information that you need, all the specs, all the tightening torques, all the fluid capacities, but we're also going to tell you exactly what you need to do with the information that you have. So wheel alignment, exactly what to do, where to adjust, camber, caster, everything's going to be there. And of course, all the important values for you as well. Now, some of you guys, I believe as well, may touch upon body repair. Again, not only does ALLDATA cover mechanical repair, chassis information, it will also cover complete body repair information as well. So again, something quite simple. If we type in front bumper, that's going to look for anything to do with the bumper itself. Okay. And what we would do is, again, we can just click on any relevant information again to the job in hand, and it's going to tell you exactly how to do that job. Nice and clear, good details, everything that needs to be done, how to take the vehicle apart, and of course, how to put it back together again. Being an ex-tech myself, of course, it's very easy sometimes to take something off, but it's getting it back together that's the difficult bit. So with instructions like this, that's going to take any of the guesswork out, how anything needs to go back together. When you've selected the information that you need for the job that you're doing, if you want to have a look at anything else, you would simply click vehicle here. And what that's going to do, it's going to take you back to the menu that you originally saw after selecting the vehicle. So now again, you can carry on selecting from here if you wanted to do any additional jobs with the vehicle, or you can of course select from the sub menu here. Now, as Gerhard briefly touched upon, we're looking at the core product. One of the additional items that you can have is labour times, which is here. Now, labour times, of course, is a great tool, certainly for front of house or your receptionist, or of course, even the techs just wanting to know how in-depth a job may be, because of course, a large labour time can indicate something that's going to be quite complex, which is not a problem because you're going to have the instructions to carry out that job. But of course, as well, front of house, as I briefly touched upon, if the customer had come in with the front brakes on his Tesla that they wanted to do, within the section here, you have all the manufacturer's repair times that of course you can use in conjunction with your labour rate, and then you're accurately able to quote your customer. So there's no guesswork exactly like that. You can, in your workshop, allocate the time you have for the day, time to the technician, and again, all importantly, an accurate and honest quote back to your customer as well. Okay, so what I'd like to just touch upon now is that we've looked at Tesla, but let's just take a quick look at another brand as well, so you can see the difference, okay? So to go back to a different vehicle, all we simply need to do, top left-hand side, click vehicles, and then, as we've said before, we can either search by platform on the top right, your year, make, model and engine, number plate search, or back from the platform here. On the right hand side, you may have noticed this. This is recent vehicles. Recent vehicles will store up to 20 recent vehicles that you've looked at. So you don't have the need here, if you've got a reoccurring vehicle in the workshop, to always split between plate, platform, etc. You can simply click here and you'll be going straight back to the vehicle that you've looked at. So the Toyota that I recently looked at is here. So if we simply click there, hopefully now you're going to recognize the page that we've landed on from the Audi and the Tesla, because it's going to look exactly the same. And there it is. So if we search for the same item, remembering the search box on the top right hand side, I'm going to type in front brakes again. The menu looks exactly the same, and we are just going to select the job that we want to carry out. But the difference that you're going to see now is the information, of course, doesn't look anything like Tesla because it's from Toyota. And you're going to have all the information again in great detail, telling you exactly what to do, all parts, all components, how to complete that job. And I say that's for any information on any vehicle, for anything that the manufacturer publishes. Now we're going to select vehicle back here, so we can go back to the menu that you might want to select something else from again. So we take a quick look at the quarter panel. For anybody that's going to do bodywork, we touched upon bumper just now, fascia covers. So that's going to cover your simpler work, such as vehicle trims, door mirrors, any sill trims, items like that, bumper fascias. But of course as well, if you are a body shop that gets involved more in depth with bodywork information, it's going to give you complete structural information, how to cut a quarter panel off, where to weld it back on, what seam sealant to use, all the important information, what welding methods to use, and where to, of course, all importantly, weld. Any safety precautions as well. Of course, EV are very dangerous vehicles to work upon. Any high voltage shutdown procedures are going to be included in here, and of course how to power the vehicle back up again afterwards. So we've changed the quarter panel, and there's some wiring damage as well. The vehicle's been an impact. So we're going to click on vehicle. ALLDATA offers comprehensive coverage of all manufacturers' wiring information. So I'm not sure what system you guys may have seen before. You may have seen wiring information that's been rewritten, redrawn, which is fine. It's easy to follow, but it doesn't have information such as connector views, ground locations, splice joints, lots of other information, loom routings as well. All important information if a vehicle's been damaged, or all important information if you're trying to trace a fault on a vehicle as well. All we would simply do is click on diagrams, and within the next section that comes up, we would select electrical OE, and similar to the similar sections that you've seen, you're going to have all wiring systems broken down under different sections of the vehicle. Again, hopefully if you take a quick look at these should talk for themselves, and you would click on the section that you want. So computers and control systems, as an example, this is where the engine control management wiring is going to be. And the information that you're seeing here now, again, this is direct from Toyota, fully interactive, fully in color. Going back to what I said as well, with some recent wiring diagrams that you may have used, you'll have the all important wire color and pin number, but a lot of the time with the pin numbers, you do not have connector information to know what the pin number is allocated to. So within our wiring diagrams here, you will see you'll have the all important connector views relevant to any system. So now we're going to be taking the guesswork out of where is pin number 5 on the engine control module. You can use the wiring diagram if you've seen at the top with any of the connector information, and this is just going to make your life, speaking from experience, so much more easier to complete that job more efficiently. So the wiring's all been repaired, and we need to have a look at something else on the vehicle as well. We're just going to click back on vehicle here. And another subsection that Gerhard touched upon as well is the maintenance schedules that we offer. So simply all you would do is, after you've selected your vehicle from the initial homepage, we're going to click maintenance schedules. Fully integrated into our product, you will now be presented with this page here. So as you can see, this is the vehicle here that we've selected, and just going back to the maintenance schedules up here, you would flick between tabs across the top left hand or right hand side of your screen, wherever you have that set up. We're now going to click on the vehicle. So the information that's available here, this would be service information that you can access rapidly. So if you want to create a service schedule, it's going to be through here, and we'll do this as an example. Now, of course, the all important information with service schedules, depending on the region where you are, we're going to have normal driving conditions, but potentially for the Nordic regions where you are, we have the all important severe driving conditions, of course, where you are. So we're going to select a severe driving conditions schedule, and then you're going to have the option between selecting between mileage and years. So for the purpose of this, the vehicle's done 30,000 kilometers and it's 2 years old. We would simply click here. Would you like to change the oil? Yes, we will. So we'll select any additional options that are generated. And we need to bear in mind as well, all these schedules that you see are fully manufacturer driven, keeping you and the work you're doing completely within warranty with the manufacturers, which is of course a very important thing to bear in mind. So we're going to check the active carbon canister as well. Select next. And what we're going to be presented with is a nice, clear, easy to use service schedule. And these are going to be uniform for any manufacturer in any model that you see. So we can print this service schedule off. You can attach it to your job card, so the tech's got something nice and easy to work through. Nice tick list to go through. You can save this to your systems as well, so you can have it for a record against your customer's vehicle. So you're going to know what service schedule's been done and what's due next. You can also advise on the customer when their next service is due. We can add bits for tyre depth, tyre pressures, and also as well, you can type notes in here that will be saved in your system. And of course, some customers do like a copy of this as well. So you can print a copy of this and the customer can have that along with their invoice. As we briefly touched upon earlier, front of house reception, if a customer's coming in wanting to know what the service is due, how long it's going to take and how much it's going to cost. When we've looked at the service, of course, you get the all important labour time as well. So you're able to give that accurate schedule. On the bottom left hand side here, we have a cogwheel giving you some settings, and you can very quickly flick between languages. So of course, for you guys, Norwegian is going to be very useful, I'd like to think. And then once we go back in, you'll see everything now is in your mother language. Now I can't read Norwegian overly well, so I'm just going to pop this back to English. Okay. What else we can do is we can select vehicle manually. So you may have noticed, we'll cover this again shortly, that the models here, there are a few that we don't have in the core product, which is perfect. You may have some different vehicles come in. So there's some older items in here. Saab may be of interest for you as well. There's lots of Saab information, service, maintenance, all items like this. You can search in here with your VIN number and registration number as well. Now, unfortunately, I can't demonstrate that because where I'm based, that's not going to work in my region, but you would simply just type in here, registration, VIN number, and it's going to take you back to your vehicle. So if we do select a vehicle, let's have a look at a Mazda. We will select a Mazda CX-60, just showing you how to do this manually. We will select the vehicle, and we're now back at the page you saw earlier on. So for clarity, create service. We only have options for fixed service intervals on this vehicle. Vehicle's done 60,000 kilometers. It's 3 years old. We don't want any additional items. We're just going to click next and next again. And what you will see is what you saw with the Toyota, exactly the same style schedule, but of course for a Mazda itself, just keeping everything nice and clear for you as well. So the techs working on the vehicle, they need to know some data, of course, to carry the service out. So we simply click on data, and we would go to general information. Within general information, we have points for jacking, lifting points, and it's going to show you the all important items where to lift the vehicle. Of course, I'm sure you're well aware, with modern EV vehicles, certainly with the likes of BMW, a lot of high voltage cables can be run through small plastic tubing under the chassis. So if you lift the vehicle in the wrong position, that's going to be very detrimental. So quick information like this at your fingertips, of course, is vital. OBD connector port if you wanted quick access for scanning anything on the vehicle. Switching on the ignition, of course, very important for mild hybrids and EVs as well, if anything needs to be powered up, such as changing the rear brakes if you've got electronic parking calipers on the back. Okay, we have a look under service and maintenance information, the service reset that we said. A nice thing as well to have, certainly for front of house, if a customer comes in and wants to know what's due on a service, we have this for every vehicle as well. Very clear, very easy to see what components are due at what time up here as well. Okay. Just take a little look around here for you as well. Lots of other information as well. So we're going to be talking about transmissions. We're going to be talking about engines, information that you want to know quickly, lubrication specs, lubrication capacities, everything's going to be in here for you as well. It's also going to tell you how to do that. Very quick points for drain plugs, fill plugs, level plugs, everything like that. At the touch of your fingertips, it's going to be in here. Of course, if you did want to know anything more different, you still have our tab open. You can access back to the original manufacturer's information that will touch on anything more in depth if that's required as you're servicing on the vehicle. But for quick access, service and maintenance is certainly going to be the key here for you as well. If we just go back to the main product quickly now for you, as you see here, just flicking between tabs, we're going to select vehicles again. Now under manufacturer, I said for platform here, we search via plate on the top right hand side here, YMME or platform. For BMW Mini, we do need that VIN number, or Rolls Royce if you're lucky enough to have any of those come into your workshop, or unlucky, whichever way you're going to look at that. We put the VIN number in, and as I say, I can't use the VIN search unfortunately for the region where I am currently, but you will be presented with this next page if we just wait for that to load through. As you can see, similar to the Audi, the Tesla and the Toyota that we've already looked upon. But we are going to now need to just manually select in here whatever information you might need. Still very straightforward, still nice and simple, technical repair instructions. Hopefully these subsections should speak for themselves. So we're going to select repair instruction for you. And then once we've selected what you want, we have here again the information in its subsections. So you can click on any section that you would like to carry out work on. Simply select the job that you would like to do. And then the next page that we're going to be presented with is information directly from BMW, because of course now we're passing through to BMW's ISTA and Air platform. If we just let this load. And there we are. So this is BMW's information in its original format. Again, everything completely clear, easy to understand, everything that needs to be done. We have blue hyperlinks here, which is uniform to any other manufacturer as well. We will click on these to follow any further information. If you wanted to carry out another job, we would simply click vehicle, and then we're going to be taken back to the menu that you saw before here. Exactly the same before. If you wanted to carry maintenance information out, we would click maintenance schedules, and you're going to be taken across to here. All the information on the system, if you wanted to take a wiring diagram to the vehicle, if you wanted to take technical information to the vehicle, everything is fully printable. There's a couple of items across the top here I'd just like to briefly touch upon. There's a bookmarking system that we cover. What you can do is, if you're in a section of a vehicle, you have the option to click bookmark and it's going to save that page for you. You can save up to 20 pages. And what you can do, if another technician's working on the same system as you are in the workshop, to save you having to completely select manufacturer model each time and you were wanting to do the same job, you would select a bookmark and it's going to take you back to what you last looked at. Your colleague can save a bookmark and you can simply flick between jobs nice and quickly, nice and easily as well. Here you can see Info Center. Now, Info Center is something unique that ALLDATA can offer you. I work within the Info Center team myself. And what we can do is we can provide information and assist you with anything on the product as well. So sometimes, if we flick through the product here, let me just find an example for you as a Kia. You may see here that the text for this seed is bold, whereas this text for this seed is not. It's slightly italic and it's grayed out. If you see information like that, that's telling you currently the information is not published within the product, which is not a problem. So with other providers, if that's the case, there is no information, they wouldn't be able to help you any further. We can. You submit an Info Center request to us asking exactly what you would like. The request comes through to myself. I would take anything that you want directly to the manufacturer, obtain the information for you, and then I would send it back in its original format as well. Now, this service is completely free of charge and it's completely unlimited use for you as well. So you've got no worries here of any information that's going to be missing. And of course, if you've got any issues, we can help you going forward with this as well. One other brand that you see here as well, we cover, which is Porsche. Currently, with our license agreement with Porsche, we cannot publish information within the product itself, but again, it's not a problem. You would simply select the vehicle that you're working on and you would submit a new Info Center request to me. I go to Porsche for you and provide you with any information that you require. Well, I hope the information's been of use to you. As I say, it's just been a bit of a brief demonstration on an overview here. If you have any questions you'd like to ask, please do. And bear in mind as well, with a product like this, it's going to be completely taken away the guesswork from anything that you're doing on the vehicle. Speaking from experience itself, if you're familiar with one brand, sometimes it's a bit daunting doing some more in-depth work on a brand you're not familiar with. But with a product like ALLDATA, where you have instructions in depth, it's going to be taking away any of that guesswork for you to be able to carry out more in-depth work on many more manufacturers. Back to Gerhard.
Oh, thank you, Steve, for the comprehensive presentation. It was very
No
good
problem.
to follow, I think. Maybe just one point I would like to add at this moment is Stephen has showed us the way BMW looks. So you may have noticed it looks a little bit different, and Stephen was talking about obviously why that is. Main reason is that BMW really requires a VIN number. Otherwise, you would not be able to work on a BMW in the aftermarket. So everybody has to put in a VIN number to be able to work on a BMW. This is a requirement from BMW since 2 years, roughly. And that includes Mini and Rolls-Royce as well. So that's the reason why the search tree and the way of getting into a BMW is a little bit different, because you work straight on the BMW air system, as Steve explained. So everybody who knows BMW system or had a manufacturer access, maybe portal access, he will recognize the tree and the taxonomy on BMW. On the positive side, obviously, you're working live on BMW environment, which means every new BMW. So if you have some fleet customers, maybe every BMW who will be published on the road will be immediately in the portal, because you would have a VIN number for that car. So there's no time delay. How long does it need to be published in ALLDATA? You would be instantly getting access to any BMW, Rolls-Royce Mini. So there's a little advantage here as well for you if you are working with those brands.
Let's just see if we've had any questions in. Can you just, there's a question, Steve, that came up yesterday on the tire pressure measurements and how we show that in the product.
Yeah, no problem. So of course, if you guys are working on anything to do with TPMS, the information is going to be within the product itself. If I can just show you something, just bear with me. It's going to show you if it's a passive system, if it's an active system, and of course, if you're changing tyres, something quite simple, knowing how to reset a tyre pressure monitor can be quite difficult sometimes. So we can have a look through the system. If you just bear with me for 1 second. Let's just have a quick look, see what we can see here. So anything that's going to be related again, we can type in the top right hand side here that you've already seen, and relevant information is going to be coming up for that vehicle to do with the TPMS system. It's going to look different, it's going to be presented different for any manufacturer, but it's going to of course tell you exactly what needs to be done. So if any diagnostic tools are going to be needed, it's going to be shown in here, but of course essentially it's going to tell you exactly what's going to need to be done to get rid of that warning light that's going to be on the dashboard for your customer afterwards. So yeah, in answer to the question, Charlotte, TPMS related information is embedded within the product for it.
Perfect. And then when you another question that arose yesterday was when you were just going through on the Tesla about ADAS calibration as well, so taking off the front panels and things.
Yeah, no problem. Just bear with me. Well, let's go back to that Tesla then. Tesla's information, as I say, all manufacturers' information looks different, but Tesla's information certainly does look nice from an aesthetically pleasing point of view, shall we say. So let me just go back to that front bumper. Anything, guys, as I'm sure you're aware now, if you hit anything on the road, if even hitting a large pothole can disrupt anything to do ADAS related. So as an example, if we go back to this, any components that you disturb, it's going to tell you if there's anything ADAS related within the system, if you need to carry out any information on it. So for the sake of this demonstration here, you guys needed to take the front bumper off. It's going to show you at the bottom, after we've taken the bumper off, put the bumper back on, anything that is related for it. It would give you information for the calibration work on it. Again, diagnostics are going to be needed sometimes, and of course the setups that you're going to have, but any ADAS information, yes, is completely included within the product. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, perfect. And then a question that's just come in about our technical service bulletins available.
Yes, technical service bulletins are available. They're not available for all brands, simply with how our license and agreement works and how some manufacturers publish them. If you do have anything related to a technical service bulletin, what I would strongly suggest is that you use the info center section here. And the reason I say that is as well, some TSBs can be very vehicle specific, and I'd always like to check that for you from a safety point of view. So you would simply open up an info center request, ask me for the TSB, and then I will go direct to the manufacturer for you. If anything's available, of course, we send it straight to you. There are TSBs in the system, yes, but from a safety point of view, I always like to check it directly with the manufacturer. And as I said, that's something that we can do from this end. Just quickly, while we're talking about this as well, an info center request will take a maximum of 4 hours to turn around from you submitting. In reality, it's a lot less than that, but it was just to let you guys know.
Perfect. And then final question on trouble codes for DTCs.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so trouble codes DTCs are fully covered in the system. Let's just have a quick look at this Toyota as an example. So recent activity, straight back into the vehicle, systems and components, all trouble codes, DTCs, and then you can select between manufacturer codes, your body codes, chassis codes, powertrain codes, whichever code you need to. You can either click from the menu here. Okay, we can type the code in on the search box on the right hand side that you've seen before. And manufacturers will work differently with how they present information. If we take, for instance, let's have a quick look, a common P code for any manufacturer. Toyota is going to present the information slightly different to the likes of Ford, but you will get an in-depth code description, why the code's coming up, and what you need to do to hopefully rectify that issue. And of course, with the trouble code and the information that we're seeing here, we're talking about the blue hyperlinks. It's going to take you to any mechanical work that you may need to do here. So a variable valve timing pulley may need to be checked, taken off. We're going to take you to the information within the product. And of course, with a DTC, you can use this hand in hand with the wiring diagrams that I showed you earlier on before. So from DTC coming in to you seeing what the problem is, to you diagnosing the fault, to fixing it, all in one place, nice and simple.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Okay.
You're very welcome.
Are there any other questions? Gerhard, is there anything you would like to add before we close? You're on mute, Gerhard.
Sorry for that. I think from my side, I think it was important to see it is a big product. It is covering a lot of OE brands with millions of documents. But we wanted to show you today, don't be afraid to use ALLDATA. It's easy to use. Use the search box, use our info center, which our technical support is. As Steve explained, it will help you if you can't find something, if you're not sure. We can help you out, and this is not on extra cost or anything. It's just a service from our side to make sure you're doing the right repairs on the right vehicle. So that would be it from my side. Back to Charlotte.
I have just seen sorry, Gerhard. I have just seen a question come up. Someone asking if we cover more exotic, or should we say Maserati, Ferrari, Lamborghini. Maserati, yes. We cover Maserati directly on the product and through myself at Info Center. Ferrari, Lamborghini, currently, no, we do not have a licensing agreement with those brands. So that's something we cannot offer at the moment for you.
Thank you, Steve.
Perfect. Thank you, Steve. So I hope you all found that webinar and that session helpful. If you would like to sort of receive any more information, you can scan the QR code. We do also offer a 14-day free trial. So again, through that QR code, it's a no obligation free trial. So actually, you can sign up. It's 14 days and then it ends. So there's no payment details taken or anything like that. It just, you're set up. You get the access to the full product for 14 days. So repair, labor times and maintenance schedules. So you can, if you are interested in the product, you can try it out today, have access for 14 full days. That also includes access to the info center. So you can try that out as well. And then after the 14 days, it does just automatically end. So there's no sort of worry about any payment details or cancellation terms if it's not right.